Welcome back to the shop. My name is Mark. This is the Malarkey Taylor channel, and tonight I'm going to teach you how to do this. Hey Siri, turn off the shop lights. That's right. I have my watch controlling this. Now, I do that with a Leviton smart switch. And I've had these for a couple of years, and I really like it because I can walk out from the shop or from the house, and I can walk back to the house and turn the lights off from there, because I often forget. I just go up there to get something and then I don't come back, and then I can turn them off. But the shop and the house aren't connected to the same power. They're just connected to the same internet. So I have no way of turning the power off in the shop from the house unless I do this. And I have 3 of them. I have 2 circuits for the inside lights and 1 circuit. This is another one from the inside. And then this one is for the outside. But this one stopped working. These 2 are the 2nd gen switch, because a few years ago they had an issue and they stopped working in a similar way as this does. And I think they fixed that in the 2nd gen. I don't know for sure if they did or not, but
Hi.
It's important enough for me to have it that I'm going to just go ahead and put the same thing in there again. So I'll show you how to do that. These are Wi-Fi enabled, and they're Apple HomeKit. So if you're not familiar with how to do that, then I'll show you. It's pretty straightforward. First things first, let me pull it out of the box and show you what we got going on inside of it.
I thought that you were probably going to do a YouTube video.
Well, I kind of am starting to do a YouTube video.
And I was probably going to be in it if I can make it.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy has a lot of wires on the back of it for a switch. It has a line, which is your power. It's black. It has a load, which is your load. That's going to be from my lights. Has a ground, which is normal to have. And then it has these other 2, which are pretty not normal for, well, some of them sort of weren't normal for switches. The white is a common. So a typical switch wouldn't need this. This is to power or to help power the Wi-Fi that is inside of the switch. And this one is called a 3-way, I think, what do they call it? The Trav. It is to enable it in a 3-way scenario. I'm not doing that, so we're just going to tuck that away and maybe even cut it off and put a little end on it. This guy's got to get connected to the other white leads, black leads, and load leads, and then ground. So we got to do that. But first things first, I got to get in this box over here, and I have 2 circuits going in there. So I have to take these two guys right here and turn them off. So let me get a flashlight so that we are not completely in the dark. All right, now we've got a flashlight.
And we have 2 flashlights.
Yeah, there's batteries over there. It's gonna get dark.
Gonna get dark?
Yeah, I should probably get a headlamp or something. Here we go. All right, now we got all the power off to there. It goes against a lot of what I believe in here. I don't like having smart stuff. I don't like having stuff connected to the internet, but it is what it is. I can't live without this switch anymore. The outside one is the one I probably use the most, and that's one that's broken right now, because when I'm walking to and from the shop from the house, it lights up the outside and the entrance, which if the shop's locked, I need it to get my keys and all the other stuff. So don't go poking your hands in there unless you know what you're doing. Having these many switches of these large switches in one box is probably not recommended, because they are they generate a little bit of heat.
Did it burn out or something?
It did.
So that's why.
So the Gen 1 switch has the screw terminals on the side like you would typically see. So we have to do some wire nut work here to get the Gen 2 switch to work. I'm going to take these guys off first. There's the old one.
Can I hold the old one? I'm gonna look at something.
Okay, now I got to remember which one is line and which one is load. Hey, bring that back. Yeah, this one is load down here on the bottom. Okay.
You think yours is how
This is a bit cramped in there, but I've got them all wire nutted up and I've tested them to make sure they're not going to come free. And I want to make sure that I don't see any wire showing from any of the power leads. So we're in pretty good shape there. So now I need to tuck them in this box. Now if you're doing this in a single gang box here, it shouldn't be as big of an issue because there should be more room. What I should have done is I should have probably gotten a 4 box or had a junction box above it so that the wires can be all junctioned above and can come down through it. Or we should have had more room in the box, but I'm going to go ahead and tuck these guys in there and try to get this switch back in its spot. Okay, now that we got that on, we're going to turn the lights on and make sure that it works as a switch, and then we can do the smart stuff setup. So, no magic smoke, I hope. Let's see. Okay, lights turned on, lights turned off. No magic smoke. Okay, so now we need to do the smarts. I'm gonna go over to the home app, gonna add an accessory, and then we're just gonna scan that little QR code right there. We had to factory reset it, but once I factory reset it, now it's allowing me to add it to the shop. I'm going to call this shop outdoor. So light, done. Outdoor off, outdoor on. Now that we got that working, now we can put our faceplate back on. That is how you replace or set up a smart switch. All right, well that'll do that. Now we have a smart switch back in the place where we had a smart switch before, but now it works. By and large, I am against smart things, but I have them all over my home. But it's a privacy violation, but it's also one that's like, it's a trade-off for the convenience. Maybe someday I'll come up with a better solution that does not talk to the cloud and get turned off when so-and-so wants more money or whatever it is. But anywho, that's how you install a Leviton smart switch so that you can tell Siri to turn off the lights in the shop and she will be able to do it. So that's it for tonight. I'm gonna come back out tomorrow. We'll probably work on some scrap loads and stuff, and we'll probably take you with us for this episode of the Shop Slog. But we started out with something pretty simple, and we'll see you A little bit. Well, it'll be a second for you, but it'll be tomorrow for us. Have a good night. Good morning. It is the next morning, and we have the scrap load all loaded up, and we are getting ready to take that load to the scrap yard. These guys are saving up for some game system or toy or something.
Yeah, I think it's game system. The moon's out.
And they helped me get all the copper ready, so they're getting a cut of this. Then we're stopping by my dad's. We're gonna take a look at the skid loader to see why the low oil pressure light has been on and the buzzing. And then we're coming back and maybe we'll get a window in today. So, you guys ready?
Probably. Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
We're gonna be on the trailer.
We could put the camera on the trailer. Do you guys want to ride on the trailer for a little bit like we did the other day? I think we can do that. How about that view? Does that work for you? All right, so we earned $268.60, and that junk is out of my shop now. So we're over to my dad's, and we have to get that skid loader and figure out what's going on with the oil pressure light. Hush, pup, get in your house. So we got to figure out what's going on with that, because when it runs, the oil pressure light comes on. So that's the next step, right?
Yeah.
We've got this guy pulled out of the shed there. I'll show you what the issue is real quick, and then we'll show you what we found out about it. So if we climb in here, we can find this guy. We started up, lights go, and what was happening was this light right here was continuing to buzz when the engine was running. So it's not real super safe because this is an old sketchy skid loader, but I'm gonna get out of it while it's running and show you what the issue was. Here we go. Oh, that sketches me out so bad. All the safety things have been removed from it, so it's unsafe at any speed. So, this guy right here, that guy right there, that is a temperature sensing probe. I can't reach in there with the fan going, but this thing right here is a temperature sensing probe that when grounded will make the buzzer go off. So it is a series, so it's a any light, it's just basically an engine light. So if the engine overheats or if the oil pressure goes low, that buzzer goes off, tells you that it's time to get out and check your engine. So what happens is, or what I'll do is I'll unplug the oil pressure sending unit. So turn that on, and I'll unplug the oil pressure sending unit, which is down here on the side, and the light goes out. But then this guy was kind of occasionally touching, and I think it was touching something else down here, because all that is a short to ground. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. So you can see all I have to do is kind of sometimes touch that, and that is a temperature sensor probe, and these hoses here fell down and have knocked it off, and then it was down in here underneath of there shorting things out. So what we can do is we can put the oil pressure sending unit back on, it's down here, you can't see what I'm doing. I don't even think I can see what I'm doing, but if I put it back on this oil pressure sending unit, now we know we've got oil pressure, and this guy doesn't make a difference. So as long as that doesn't contact something when it's running, that buzzer will go off. And there you have it. So what we need to do is we need to get a new temperature probe, temperature sensor probe right here, and then probably put a new end on that wire. But for now, I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to cover that so it can't contact anything, and then run it a little bit, make sure that was the solution, and then tell my dad it's safe to run. Well, it seems as though it is oil pressure related because that circuit is good and I've isolated that wire. I'll check it to make sure that my tape didn't fall off, but next thing we got to do is we got to come back another time and get an oil pressure gauge and see if maybe our oil pressure sending unit's gone bad, because that circuit is good now and tested, and that may legitimately be some oil pressure issues. So that's it for now. We're gonna go back to the home, and we did our checks on this, and it looks like it is something we got to check into a little bit deeper, but I didn't bring the tools to do it. So back to the shop. Well, we're back unloading the next load of window frames here. We got the last little bit here. Got 2 windows left. I think what we're going to end up doing is we're probably going to go back over to that skid loader with a oil pressure testing unit, something that has a gauge, and see if the sending unit's bad or if the engine is actually low on oil pressure. But we will find that out next week. For now, that's it for today on the Malarkey Taylor channel. The rest of that stuff goes in the trash can. Thank you so much for stopping out. Thanks for checking out the randomness of the projects, and we'll see you guys on the next one.